Welcome everyone live on YouTube, Radio K Sports Radio, Real Sports Radio. I'm Grant Sandberg alongside Jason Ruttman live from US Bank Stadium. It's the Illinois Fighting Illini here visiting against the Minnesota Golden Gophers in another matchup. Jason, welcome to the broadcast, and what do we expect to see from these Gophers and Illini tonight?
Well, thank you very much, Grant. In the first game, it was a 7-inning game, played most recently, as this is game 2 of the doubleheader. The Gophers made a valiant effort at the end to come back, but unfortunately ended up dropping it by a score of 11-8. They're looking to bounce back here, 1-5 on the season. And I'm pleased to offer you tonight's starting pitcher matchup for the away Illinois team. It's Tyra Barczyk, the right-handed pitcher out of Spring Valley, Illinois, standing at 5'9", 160. He's had a rough start to the year. In his one appearance, he let up 8 earned runs. Not great. Pitching for Minnesota and throwing a ball on his first pitch of the game is Tom Scoro. He was fabulous in his last time out, 6 innings with 8 strikeouts against Rutgers in Minnesota's only win of the season.
Thank you, Jason. Second pitch of the at-bat and of the ball game is in for a strike. 1-1 now. Scoro, number 45, throwing from the left-hand side. Second strike now. Swing and a miss. 1-2 here to Taylor Jackson, hitting .375 on the season. And Scoro moving quickly. Next pitch here, low and inside for a ball. 2-2.
Grant, I was just going to comment on that, and I noticed this last Sunday against Rutgers. Scoro pitches with an incredible pace. As soon as the batter lifts the bat up near his ear, he's already in the windup.
Next pitch is going to be a dribbler to Scoro's right side. Scoro fires it over quickly to Ronald Sweeney for the out. Good start to the game. And like you talked about, Jason, Scoro is pitching rather fast, and we need that as it's 8:48 here, first pitch time. Crazy late for the second game of the doubleheader.
Yes, it is. They originally announced that this game was going to start at 8:25 after being scheduled for 8 p.m. But teams took a little bit of extra time to warm up, and we have a nearly 9 p.m. start.
First pitch to Danny Dolgale is just off the corner for ball 1. Dolgale hitting .211 and playing left field. He started all 3 games in a diving stop by Ronald Sweeney, the first baseman, but Dolgale beats out Scoro to the bag. And a single for the Illini.
Oh, Dolgale, he is pretty fast. He plays left field for the Fighting Illini, and he was just able to beat Scoro to the bag there.
Good effort by Ronald Sweeney, the first baseman for the Gophers. Don't think that was his fault at all. Definitely a hit for the Illini.
I would agree with that. That ball was hit very hard. I'm impressed that Sweeney was even able to get over there, dive, and extend the glove to knock it down.
Brandon Comia now up. First pitch from Scoro, right over the plate, a bit of an off-speed, 0-1.
Let me tell you, Comia has been something these past few years. Last year, in the COVID-shortened season, he batted .426. Currently, he has a 23 straight on-base game streak. Looking to extend it here. Also, he was the preseason All-Big Ten team shortstop, as ranked by Perfect Game, and the number 4 shortstop in the entire nation, according to D1 Baseball. So he's definitely going to be an X factor here for the Fighting Illini tonight.
Totally agree, as Scoro comes set now, looks over at Dolgale at first, and they're going to try to pick him off as he throws over, but not even an attempted tag by Sweeney there. Just keeping Dolgale alert. Shortstop Comia looks for the sign from the third base coach. 0-1 to Comia. 1 out here in the top of the first, live from US Bank Stadium. Here comes the pitch. Comia hits it down, a grounder to the third baseman. They get him at second, can't turn 2. And so they get the outfielder's choice over at second base. So now 2 outs. Comia's now over at first, and that'll bring up Cam McDonald.
That was a great play by Jack Wassel, drifting towards the third base line, picking the ball on his backhand, turning and firing it to second to get the lead runner. 2 outs.
McDonald steps into the batter's box now as Scoro looks in for the sign out of the stretch here with Comia, already with 2 stolen bases on the season. First pitch from Scoro is low and inside for a ball. McDonald had a great first game in this doubleheader, went 4 for 5, including 3 or 4 diving catches out in right field. And he's back out there in right field again for this one. Scoro out of the stretch, still sets, comes to the plate, right over the plate, but must have been low. Ball 2, 2-0 now.
Well, Stanky did a great job of framing that one behind the plate. It was probably a little bit below the knees from my vantage point, but he held his glove there for an extra second, showing the home plate umpire that it probably could have gone either way.
Scoro still looking over at Comia. Comes to the plate, and it's hit right to the shortstop. Elliott tosses it over to Merrill, and just like that, the Gophers get out of the top of the first, and they'll be hidden and coming up to bat when we come back in the bottom of the first. Stay with us on Radio K Sports.
Could drive anywhere, but there's excuse me, I'm gonna drink some water for 1 second. In the meantime, you can think about what it means that it's Scorpio season. Okay, I'm back. Lights flashing, signs passing. I could drive anywhere, but there's nowhere that I really wanna go. Let my phone die for the first time. I don't have anywhere to be. I guess I'll just go home. And when I say I don't know, I really mean it still. And when you say you're leaving, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. Letting go without a fight, it's easier to leave. Now that you are off my mind, I don't wanna feel anything. Leave the key in just to listen. This song's always stuck in my head. Sing along again.
Welcome back, everyone, here live on YouTube, Radio K Sports Radio. Otto Grimm, the right fielder for the Gophers, number 13, will be leading off.
Graham.
Otto still looking for his first hit of the season, and he swings at the first pitch. High fly ball to deep left. Dolgale gets under it, though, close to that yellow line wannabe warning track for the first out.
Yeah, good swing by Grimm there, attacking the first pitch he sees early. Like to see that, and he actually gave it a pretty decent ride. US Bank Stadium does play pretty big. I feel like the outfield is sizable, so in any smaller stadium, that ball may have had a chance at, clearing the wall, reaching the first row of seats. Unfortunately, it falls into the glove of the left fielder, Dolgale, and Minnesota has their first out of the game.
Number 33, Boston, Marilla up now, batting .429 on the season, 3 for 7, 2 runs scored, and he takes the ball for the first pitch. And this one is going to be popped up to the shortstop, Comia, and he just snags that one in. And a quick 2 outs here for the starting pitcher for the Illini, number 45, Ty Rubberchick.
Yeah. Marilla has been good this season. He is a freshman, so still has a lot to learn. That wasn't the best approach to his at-bat, I don't think. Similar to Grimm, he was attacking early, but the pitch that he got wasn't nearly as hittable, and he ended up just popping it up for an easy second out.
And now here comes the Gophers' best hitter, Zach Robbie, number 2. He's DHing this game. He takes strike 1 on the outside edge of the plate there. 9 for 16 this season, hitting .571 with 2 outs. Rubberchick out of the windup. Slider over the plate, catches the outside edge. 0-2.
Oh, that pitch had some beautiful movement on it. Saw it start right over the heart of the plate. Robbie probably thought it looked like a watermelon, and then all of a sudden snuck to the outside corner, and he watched it go by.
0-2 now to Robbie. Here comes the pitch. It's high and inside for a ball. 1-2.
Well, let me tell you, I'm guessing if you asked anyone on the team, they would say that Zach Robbie is the unanimous MVP so far. He has been absolutely unbelievable the past few seasons. So a ton of credit to him.
Here is Robbie now, steps back in, 1-2 count. Check swings there, doesn't go. Good eyes. He laid off the slider, 2-2.
Yeah, it looks like they're giving him a fairly healthy dose of off-speed pitches. He tends to hit fastballs pretty well, especially when they're, belt higher, maybe a little higher in the zone. So giving him some off-speed stuff on the corners is probably the right thing to do, according to the book.
Another slider outside. Check swing again, and no swing. Catcher there, Campbell, thought he went, even tagged him there like a dropped third strike. But it gets to full count, 3-2. The payoff pitch from Rubberchick as he gets into the windup. Here comes the pitch, and Robbie pops it a mile high, likely going to still be in the infield. It's Campbell, the catcher, snags it, and that's going to be the third out here at the bottom of the first. So a quick first inning here at US Bank Stadium. We'll be right back for the second.
No one will ever love you quite the same. Stuck in my mind as I just walk away. But does affection always fade? My eyes are dry when I hear your name. It's getting easier to sleep alone. I have my friends, I have my room, I have my phone. And when your memory creeps back in, I put on my shoes, I go out again. And if you're sad, you're listening to the wrong song. And if you hear your mind, the music's just not loud enough, turn it up.
Welcome back, everyone, here to Radio K Sports, Real Sports Radio. Thank you for tuning in on YouTube. I'm Grant Sandberg alongside Jason Ruttman as we bring you the top of the second inning, the Illini versus the Gophers. No hits for the Gophers, one hit for the Illini. First pitch in from Tom Scoro is a strike to number 17, Janis. Here comes another quick pitch here from Scoro. Off speed, right down the middle, 0-2.
And let me tell you something about Janis, a real heartwarming story. He has a brother who actually suffered from leukemia, Grant, and he was a match in terms of bone marrow, and so he donated some of his own bone marrow and plasma to help save his brother's life.
That's just a great story, Jason. Pretty cool to see that. And, I mean, such a young guy being able to do that is pretty impressive as he takes a ball here from Scoro. Next pitch comes in, and it's going to actually hit Janis, so he will just get a free base here.
Well, luckily for Scoro and for Janis, that was an off-speed pitch. Looked like a curveball that got away from him. Release point was a little early, and he didn't really get the flick of the wrist around because the ball was slipping out of his hand. Came in a little bit high on Janis. His helmet fell to the ground. But luckily that pitch probably wasn't more than 82, 83 miles an hour. And Janis will be able to take the quick trip down to first base, bringing up Aid for the Fighting Illini.
Aid, the DH, number 29. Scoro looks over at Janis. It's going to be a ground out to the third baseman. Will they try to turn two? They will, but they can't quite get it. They got Janis at second. Aid, with the good speed, though, was able to beat out the throw from Merrill.
Aid with some surprising speed there. I didn't know that he could get down the line that quickly.
Yeah, quite impressive for the DH, as that'll bring up number 9, Campbell, the sophomore catcher for the Illini. First time we've seen him in this series. This is the third game of the series. Jason and I will be calling tomorrow night's game as well, 6 p.m. first pitch. As Scoro comes set now, looking over at Aid at first. Spending a long time there. Now he comes set and throws down ball 1.
Jack Campbell was actually selected by my hometown Chicago Cubs in the 36th round of the 2018 MLB draft. So, a few more successful years down in Urbana-Champaign, and maybe we'll see him at Wrigley one of these days.
I'm sure that's a dream of his as well, being from Illinois. Here comes Scoro. Next pitch, right over the middle, strike 1. 1-1 now, 1 out. 1 hit for the Illini in this game. They've also left 1 runner on base. It's number 29, Aid, the junior. 0 for 1 on the night as he hit into a fielder's choice, but he's over at first right now. Scoro comes set. Scoro comes to the plate, and it bounces off the turf, and he's going to get away from Stanky, and that's going to be in wild pitch. Aid advances to second. Disappointing play there by Tom Scoro.
Well, that was a great read by Aid at first base. As soon as he saw the ball hit the dirt, he took off for second base, and there was no chance for Stanky to get the ball down there in time.
2-1 now to the catcher, number 9, Campbell, as Scoro comes set. Doesn't spend much time looking at Aid at second. Pitches in low and inside for a ball. 3-1 now.
And honestly, if you were to walk him here, not the worst thing in the world. First base is open. You might be able to even force a double play. I would consider an intentional walk as an option here. So just, pitch around the corners, see if he'll chase and pop something up maybe. But aside from that, walking him is not a bad option.
Especially with the lefty coming up. Scoro, the left-hander himself, throws a pitch right over the middle for a strike, gets it to a full count. 3-2 now. Aid at second base. Number 14, Raper, the left-hander, in the on-deck circle, the senior, hoping to get an opportunity. Scoro comes set. Here comes the payoff pitch, and it's ripped down the left field line, and that one is out of here. A home run by number 9, Campbell, and he smoked that one, Jason.
Yeah, well, Scoro left that ball hanging over the middle of the plate, and it didn't take much for Campbell to turn on that thing and send a missile into the left field bleachers.
So a 2-run jack for the Illini and Campbell, and that'll bring up number 14, Raper.
Scoro looks a little uncomfortable there right now. In the first inning, he definitely was pitching, a little more finesse, a little bit more speed. His pace was a little bit more consistent, I think. Illinois seems to have gotten to him this inning a little bit. Few balls inside, few balls in the dirt, and then a couple pitches that he just kind of left over the plate, and it was a matter of time before someone hit one a long way.
First pitch to Raper is high and inside for a ball. 1-0. Scoro without a strikeout yet. Second pitch of the at-bat comes in for a strike as Raper just looked at that one. Raper's been the starting third baseman for all 3 games this series. Will likely be starting Sunday night as well. And this pitch is hit high and deep to right, and this one is out of here. Back-to-back home runs for the Fightin' Illini, and that one was a no-doubter.
Yeah, that ball was a gargantuan blast, clearing the black tarp that blankets the right field bleachers that are folded up in order to make space for, right field here at US Bank Stadium. But, that ball entered the concourse. That thing was absolutely crushed. Like I was saying, Tom Scoro does not look comfortable out there, and he's leaving pitches up and over the plate. The Illini are making him pay.
And I'm a bit surprised Ty McDivitt, the fifth-year pitching coach for the Gophers, isn't going out there and trying to calm him down right now.
As am I.
First pitch now is ripped down the line. It's Watson, the true freshman, number 22, and he's going to get a double. So 3 extra base hits in a row now. And the Illini, this is the loudest I've heard their fans and their dugout all series.
Yeah, we have maybe 75 fans in attendance tonight, but the Illinois dugout is sure making up for that. I mean,
And here comes that mound visit Jason and I were suggesting. As that brings up the top of the lineup for the Illini, it's going to be Jackson, the center fielder, 0 for 1 on the night, but hitting over 350 on the season. He's had a good year. And Jason, what do you think pitching coach is saying right now to Scoro?
part of what he's doing out there isn't even saying anything. He's just slowing the pace of play down, allowing Scoro to get back into the right mental state, just telling him you have a great defense behind you. Don't be afraid to throw, some tough pitches that might get them to chase. If you walk someone, it's better than giving up a double or a homer, as he's done in the past 3 at-bats. Aside from that, he may be talking a little bit of strategy. Chase Stanky went out there with him, maybe talking about how to address the top of this Illinois lineup. They've now seen him once. I'm sure they've seen film of him, so comfort level is only going to go up for them from here on out. So maybe a few adjustments for Scoro in terms of game plan. That's what I'm guessing was said by the Minnesota pitching coach.
First pitch from Scoro to Jackson is high and outside for a ball. Jackson grounded out in the first inning, grounded out right back to Scoro, in fact. Scoro looks in for the sign. It's number 22, Watson, on second base right now. Bit of a conservative lead, nothing much. As Scoro pitches this one, and it's another ground out to Scoro, and he spikes it to the first baseman. Nice pick there by Sweeney for the out. 2 outs now, runner at third. Scoro looking to get a new baseball here, as it's going to be number 21, Dullagale, who, like we talked about pregame, has had great series, both hitting the ball and in left field. The freshman already 1 for 1 tonight with a single.
Yeah, and this is a guy who reaches base quite a bit. He's third on the great offensive Illinois team with a .422 on-base percentage.
First pitch to him looked like an off-speed pitch, but outside for a ball. Now at third base is Watson. Scoro still out of the stretch. A strike now over the middle to Dullagale, as he looked like he was taking all the way on that one. Scoro looks in for the sign. Scoro throws it over, and it's too low for a strike, so it'll be a ball. 2-1 now. 2 outs here, top of the second. Live Minnesota Golden Gopher baseball. And this pitch is hit quite high to the third baseman, Wassel, and he's going to be able to grab that, and that'll end the inning. So the Illini put up 3 in the top of the second. Will the Gophers be able to answer? We shall see, and we will be back. Stay with us on YouTube.
Always say the stupidest things. It's like you don't know how to read. You're always jumping in with anecdotes that don't make any sense, and I am always wondering why. So baby, let me write your lines. Oh baby, let me write your lines. I stick my tongue in your mouth to keep your words from coming out. So baby, let me write your lines. At first I thought that you were shy. I dreamed of all the ways your words would blow my mind. But
Welcome back, everyone, here on Radio K Sports, Real Sports Radio. Bottom of the second now, live from U.S. Bank Stadium. Gophers already trailing 3-0. Lost the first 2 games of this series in 10 innings last night, and then it is shortened 7-inning game earlier today. And strike 1 on Wassel.
Nice high fastball to Wassel on the first pitch there. He has a pretty long swing, so pumping something up high is definitely going to be challenging for him to catch up to. Good idea by the Illinois pitcher, Robarchek.
Next pitch is dribbled to Robarchek, and he's going to make the nice play to throw out Wassel. On the run, it was Jonas catching it as the first baseman had to move to his side, but able to get the out anyways. So a ground out for the Gophers, and that'll bring up number 6, the junior, the catcher for the Gophers, Stanky here, as the Gophers still looking for their first hit in the second inning here. Robarchik has looked pretty good. Number 45. And this one is going to be a liner into left field and a diving catch by Dolegale. Wow, a beautiful grab there, and Stanky just got robbed.
Yeah, that was a real athletic play by Dolegale out there in left field. He's hustling pretty quickly towards the third base line and extends the body in order to get some leather on it. Nice catch.
That'll bring up the lefty, Andrew Wilhite. He's a junior. Playing left field right now for the Gophers. Saw him in right field earlier in the season. Takes the first pitch, strike on the outside corner, 0-1. As Robarchek, similar to Scoro, moving pretty quickly as he's already in the windup here for the second pitch. This one a bit too far outside, though, 1-1.
Good tank by Stanky. I mean, a pitch like that, fastball coming in on the outside corner is very, very tempting to swing at, but a lot of times it's going to get poked off the end of the bat and just dribbled down the third base line. Great job by him to lay off.
Next pitch is high and inside for a ball. 2-1 now here. The number 6 hitter in the lineup for the Gophers, left-hander Andrew Wilhite, Jr., having an okay season so far, and still this young season. Gophers have struggled 1-5 on the year, and he grounds this one just foul, just to the right of the first baseman, and right into the Illini bullpen. Bullpen's on the field here at US Bank Stadium, something you rarely see these days.
I can only name a few MLB stadiums that still have that. I know Oracle Park in San Francisco still has their bullpens exposed. Wrigley just got rid of them a few years ago. With
Yep.
Go ahead.
Next pitch there is going to be low to Wilhite, so he takes that, will bring it to 3-2. Yeah, interesting how stadiums are starting to move those into the outfield and such. I know Oracle Park is thinking about doing that as well. As the payoff pitch to Wilhite is hit high and deep to right by Wilhite. Is it going to get over the center fielder's head? It will. Bounces, hit the carpet. It's going to be a double either way. Might have been a ground rule double. We'll see, as the curtain right there in right center field bounced off that. But a beautiful hit by Wilhite for a double.
Yeah, and I mean, great effort by Jackson there in center field. He probably traveled, 90, 100 feet backwards looking over his shoulder trying to track that thing down. But just a little too much distance on it by Wilhite. He is rewarded with a double. Minnesota puts their first base runner on for the game and now look to cut the Illinois lead down.
It'll be number 4, Sweeney, the senior left-handed hitter. First baseman for the Gophers, swinging at the first pitch, fouled out of play over the Gopher dugout down the left side, maybe about 10 or 15 rows up. Like Jason mentioned earlier, about 75 fans or so here, all either relatives or parents of these two teams, mostly Gopher fans, some Illini fans mixed in there, however.
Well, hopefully in the near future, we'll have some more fans in here. I know Governor Walz just allowed 3,000 fans to enter games.
This one's hit deep to left, but is going to be caught by Dolegale there. And so Sweeney is retired, and the Gophers are retired at the bottom of the second. Nothing on the board and no damage. So the Illini still lead 3-0. We head to the third. We'll be back after this.
I forgot what your face looked like. Gotta see making me dumb. Your love is making me dumb, 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 dumb. I'm checking your horoscope, trying to remember the things you said. You're making me hope, I'm making you a mixtape in my head. It's way too soon, but all I do is swoon. 'Cause love is making me dumb. Your love is making me dumb, 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 dumb.
Welcome back, everyone. We hope you're still enjoying the music brought to us by Radio K, Real College Radio. We're Radio K Sports, Real Sports Radio. Thank you for joining us. We're under the umbrella of Radio K, and we're having a lot of fun doing it. Jason and I, this is our first baseball game together, but we've been calling in on the Sports Hour podcast for a while. You call in pretty much every week. You'll be calling in this week as well, so if you want to tune in on Tuesday nights on Radio K, feel free to listen. First pitch from Scoro is Titan inside to Comia for a ball.
Going back to the point I was talking about last inning before the fly out,
And foul ball now by Comia, 1-1.
is that Governor Walz recently just announced that fans are going to be able to be in attendance in limited numbers for some of the professional sporting events. I know at Target Field, an outdoor venue, as this ball is fouled off into the right field bleachers, 10,000 fans are going to be allowed, which is roughly 25%. And then at Target Center for Timberwolves games and at the XL Energy Center in St. Paul for Wild games, 3,000 fans are going to be allowed. So moving in the right direction.
Yep, definitely getting there. Good to have sports back. Even us just doing these games in person is nice rather than in Trask and I's apartment. 2-2 now. Comia hits this one. It's a pop-up to short right. Who's going to grab it? It looks like the second baseman. Number 33, Boston Marilla, will snag that one. One out now. In the top of the third, Gophers still trail 3-0.
Really good communication there between Marilla and Sweeney, even from the broadcast booth up in the fourth level here at US Bank Stadium, and with noise-canceling headphones on. You could hear him yell out, I got it, I got it. Sweeney drops off, and no collision, and an out is obtained.
Well done indeed. Textbook really, as the first pitch now is inside on McDonald, but called for a strike. McDonald 0 for 1 in this game, but like we talked about, went 4 for 5 in the first game of the doubleheader. Did very well. Scoro second pitch, and it's going to be a grounder up the middle just past Scoro. Murillo will have to run in and snag it, and he throws out McDonald. Beautiful stretch by the first baseman Sweeney, but even better run up and throw on the run by Marilla.
That was a tough play for Marilla. Not only was the ball slowly hit, and he knew he was going to have to get it out of his glove quickly, it bounced off the raised pitching mound, and so he had to adjust to, the ball changing speed, changing direction, and he's able to scoop it up in his glove, fire the runner out.
Number 17, Janis, rips the first pitch foul for strike one, 0-1. Already 2 outs here as Scoro's at 41 pitches, almost through 3 innings. 4 hits, 3 earned. Those 3 earned coming off of back-to-back homers, and we have a ground out to short here. Elliott throws it over to Sweeney, and just like that, the Illini are retired. Good comeback inning for Scoro. As we'll head to break here, stick with us on YouTube. Welcome back, everyone. We hope you're enjoying the music. That last song was from Last Scorsese, not to be confused with Martin Scorsese.
No, of course not.
Number 1, Elliott, the shortstop, just made that beautiful play. The end, the top of the third is up now, the right-hander. See what happens here in the first pitch of the at-bat. First pitch of the bottom of the third. It's going to be a high fastball for a ball. Ty Ruberchick has done pretty well so far. 2 innings, 1 hit. Was an extra base hit, but only 20 pitches in those 2 innings. Next pitch to Elliott. He swings right through it. Looked like an off-speed pitch. 1-1.
Drew Stahl, who normally plays shortstop for Minnesota, getting a rest this evening. He's had, a few struggles offensively to begin the year. I think trying to get, someone else up, Elliott, see if he can get his bat going. Probably good for the team. And, a little bit of extra motivation for Stahl.
Totally agree with that, Jason. As this next pitch comes in and Elliott fouls it away, was a little early on it. 1-2 now. No outs here in the bottom of the third. For those tuning in, I'm Grant Sandberg alongside with Jason Ruttman. I'm doing the play-by-play here for the first 3 innings and the last 3. So after this last half inning here, Jason's going to take over for the 4th, 5th, and 6th. As here comes the next pitch from Ty Ruberchick. And nowhere close, really. A slider quite a bit outside. 2-2 now.
Really good idea here by Elliott, stepping out of the box. Like you were saying earlier, Grant, Ruberchick has been pitching pretty quickly. So, stepping out of the box throws him out of his rhythm a little bit.
Next pitch from Ruberchick is fouled away by Elliott. He's just on it there. 2-2 here. What are you looking to throw if you're the Illinois catcher here, dropping down the signs?
Well, it looked like they threw him 2 fastballs to begin the at-bat. That previous pitch was a fastball, and the third pitch in the sequence was a slider that got away from Ruberchick. I'm likely going to something off-speed here, maybe a changeup inside, see if you can keep it low and get him to swing over it.
2-2 to Elliott, and it is an off-speed. Did he go? No, the first base umpire says, so a check swing brings it to 3-2. Good call there, Jason. I think that was the right decision, but Elliott just had too good of an eye.
I would agree with that. Yeah, keeping the ball in the outside corner seems to be what the scouting report is saying for Elliott. They have not thrown him anything inside, and another pitch on the outside corner, outside and for ball 4.
Yep, payoff pitch there was a little high and outside, so that'll be a walk to Elliott. Good start for the Gophers, down 3. Even it's not a hit, but something to get on base here. And now you bring up Easton Bertrand, who's senior, has been here a long time, but they have him in the 9-hole here, hopefully for this exact reason. You get something started, can turn over the lineup to Otto Grimm and then Boston Marilla, so big opportunity for Easton here.
Bertrand also plays the outfield. He has some speed, so, a soft dribbler in the infield he may be able to beat out.
And that's exactly what he's going to try to do is he tries to bunt it here, although it was right in front of the catcher. He can't beat it out. Works as a sac bunt, though, so that'll move Elliott over to second.
A little bit of small ball never hurt anyone. Minnesota's down 3-0 right now. Trying to get a runner into scoring position with less than 2 outs is a great idea, I think, by Coach Anderson. And you got the top of the lineup up, Otto Grimm. And, he's followed up by Boston Marilla, who's been hitting really well to start the season. So, good call, in my opinion.
I agree, and like you said, Bertrand has the speed that if that was a better bunt, he probably could have beaten it out. So, smart call there by Coach Anderson in his 40th year as head coach of Minnesota. Pretty impressive. Ruberchick now out of the stretch. And it's going to be a strike 1. Tried to potential bunt there by Grimm. Did not pan out, though. 0-1 here, 1 out.
So the third baseman, Raper, was playing really deep down the third base line there. So, trying to do a drag bunt, maybe leave it on the line is a great idea. Easy to beat out, and, the runner can stay at second or advance at his own risk.
Forces Raper to stay in as the third baseman. Here comes the pitch. High and outside. 1-1 now. Gophers still trailing 3-0. They only have 1 hit today, but they also have a walk. That's how number 1 Elliott, our shortstop, has gotten over to second base. Got there on a walk and then a sac bunt. So just like Jason said earlier, a classic small ball right now for the Gophers, who have struggled offensively so far this season. Next pitch is hit high and deep to right, and the right fielder's going to grab it right on the warning track. And tagging up is Elliott from second to third, so now runner at third with 2 outs.
May not have gotten him, but what an arm on McDonald there. From the warning track in deep right field, he two-hopped it to third base, and third baseman Raper, only had to take 1 step off the bag. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, not much of a crow hop on that throw either. He just kind of lobbed it in there. So that'll bring up number 33, Boston Marilla. 0 for 1 on the night. Popped up to the shortstop, Comia, who we've talked about, one of the best shortstops in the Big Ten, if not the nation, as this ball is well outside here. 1-0.
Interesting choice by Marilla here. He is a switch hitter, and in his first at-bat, he was up in the righty batter's box against the left-handed Robbie, but this time around, he's in the lefty batter's box.
Takes the next pitch high. He thought about swinging, check swing, but he did not go. 2-0 now. Yeah, that is interesting, Jason. You mentioned that. I would think he'd naturally go left-handed here since it's the right-handed pitcher. However, might be more talented right-handed, but making the switch now in the third. Next pitch is fouled off by him over the Gophers' dugout. And that'll be up into the second deck. 2-1 now with 2 outs here. Runner on third. Gophers don't have a hit yet with runner in scoring position. Only hitting 125 on the night. They do have 1 walk and 1 extra base hit. The Illini hitting over 300, though, with 3 extra base hits, including 2 home runs in that second inning. 2-1. Here comes Robbie. And a nice little blooper right over the shortstop Kamia's head, and that's going to be a run for the Gophers.
And the small ball pays off for Minnesota. Maybe they'll have to adopt it more often. Little opposite field blooper for Marilla plates a run, and the Gophers are on the board.
Just like that, 3-1 now. Good way to attack Tyra Barczyk. And now Zach Robbie, our best hitter, is up to the plate. 2 outs, runner on first. Boston Marilla. No stolen bases on the year for him, but he also hasn't played much this year. First pitch to Robbie is going to be a ground out to the shortstop, Camilla. He throws it. It's going to be picked up by Janis at first for the out. So that'll end the third inning here. Gophers on the board, though, 3-1. They're still trailing. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us on Radio K Sports, Real Sports Radio. I'm Jason Ruttman alongside Grant Sandberg, and for the next few innings, we're switching roles. I'm taking over the play-by-play duties. Grant got color, so a fun opportunity for both of us, trying out something new. Leading off for the Fighting Illini is number 29, Aide, the designated hitter. He takes the ball inside for strike 1. On the mound for Minnesota still is Tom Scoro. Through 3 innings, he's allowed 4 hits and 3 earned runs. has not recorded a strikeout yet, as this ball is fouled off and over the protective netting by Aid.
Aid, originally from Franklin, Wisconsin, actually played at Madison College, transferred over to the Fighting Illini.
Next pitch of the at-bat is over the plate, but a little bit high. Count alters to 2-1. Aid stands in the right-handed batter's box against the left-handed Scoro, who pitches from the windup. He fires it in. It's slowly hit to first base. Sweeney hustles to the bag, slides in, and they're going to call him out. Great hustle by Sweeney, just beating out Aid, and the Gophers retire their first victim of the inning.
I think he made the right choice there. Thought about tossing it underhand to Scoro, who was covering from the mound, but I don't think he would have gotten there in time. And a really smart decision to slide. I don't think he would have gotten the out if he didn't slide.
Would agree with that, using all of his 6'4" frame to touch up on the base before Aid did. And now standing in is the catcher Campbell. First pitch is low but over the plate. Ball 1 will be assessed. Campbell is 1 for 1 on the day with 2 RBIs. He hit a long homer back in the second inning over the left field wall to give Illinois their first lead. Second pitch of the at-bat is in for a strike. 1-1 now is the count as Scoro winds up again. This one, couple inches inside. Home plate umpire will not give Tom the benefit of the doubt, and we got a 2-1 count.
We were talking about stadiums opening up more with COVID. Now we should ask Jacob Campbell about this, as he's a community health major.
Ooh, that is a fun major, especially during this time. Hopefully we never have to have another pandemic specialist, but no guarantees, so always good to have people on standby. That ball is smoked up the middle, just past Scoro and into center field. And now on first base will be Campbell. Illinois, 1 on, 1 out. Up now is the third baseman, Raper. He hits one into left field, opposite field, and it will fall. Heading to third is Campbell. He will make it, and stretching it into a double is Raper. The ball looked like it may have beaten him there, but it was not handled nicely by Marilla. It falls out of his glove, and all of a sudden, the Illini are threatening yet again.
Yeah, we thought we were getting a break. You know, we score 1 in the bottom of the third, starting to look good. And now Scoro struggling again for the second time in his 4 innings of work. He's now given up 5 hits already. No walks, which is something the Gophers have struggled with this year, but he's just getting hit hard right now.
Would agree with that, and this is the same part of the lineup that did damage to him the first time around, so no easy escape for Scoro here in the 4th inning. He will have to face Watson, number 22, the righty.
Watson was the #1 shortstop recruit in all of Wisconsin in 2019, so a good get for the Illini, although he has not had many chances so far in his young career.
Scoro from the windup now. Really great off-speed pitch, gets Watson to swing through it, and the count is 1-1.
Yeah, Watson looked totally frazzled there, as he had no clue what was coming.
Well, he is a true freshman, just beginning to learn the ins and out of college baseball, and Scoro, the senior, had him fooled. This one, he shoots into the right center field gap. Chasing it down is Grimm, and he will make the catch. Tagging up from third base is Campbell, and he will score. Illinois 4, Minnesota 1. However, a second out is recorded. Now, there is only 1 runner on base. On second, it is Raper. He chose not to tag up. Probably a good decision because Grimm has a solid arm out there in right field.
Yeah, and that was Watson's first career RBI for him in D1 baseball, so congrats to him on that. And now Taylor Jackson, the junior, comes up. Business and marketing major, originally from Chicago, went to Kirkwood Community College, transferred over to Illinois last year, and he's been doing really well ever since.
Absolutely, and that seems to be a more common trend these days, you know, going to a like a junior college, playing in the NJCAA. Yes, and my English skills, of course, you know, perfectly sharp as always. And then transferring to college. This one, he shoots right back to Scoro, who fires it across the diamond, and it can't be handled by Sweeney. Coming home now is Raper, and he will score. I'm not sure who the error will be on there. I think it'll be Scoro, as he tried to throw across his body and ended up spiking that ball in the dirt, but a little too hot to handle for Sweeney. And, Minnesota takes an error, and Illinois takes advantage.
Gophers have just made too many silly mistakes in the past couple games, and it's really coming back to bite them.
Well, first pitch of the next at bat is swung through for strike one. Scoro not helping his own cause here. Illinois now leads Minnesota 5-1. Scoro up to 57 pitches on the evening. About a 10-foot lead at first for Jackson, and the next pitch is in for a strike, 0-2. And now Dalgill will have to bat defensively. He stands in, foot all the way at the back of the batter's box, giving himself some extra time to read it, and this fastball is outside for the first ball of this matchup. Scoro sets again. Leg kick and fires. This one outside corner, and it'll be a punch out. A backwards K in the scorebook, and Minnesota gets out of the inning. However, some damage is done. Illinois puts 2 up on the scoreboard, and we will head to the bottom of the fourth. Illinois 5, Minnesota 1. We'll be back. Back to Radio K Sports, real college sports radio. Stepping in for the Golden Gophers is the third baseman, Jack Wassel. In his first at bat, he grounded out to the pitcher. He'll step in again to face Rybarczyk. Righty versus lefty matchup, and this slider is over the inside corner for strike one. Wassel takes his time, steps out of the box, readjusts his grip on the bat, and now will re-enter. On deck is the catcher, Stanky. Wassel looking to get on, so Stanky can push him home. This next pitch of the at-bat is low for ball one. We will continue. Rybarczyk working with some efficiency. Already set on the mound. Wassel making him take his time, though, as he sets up in the batter's box. Here's the pitch, and Wassel swings over it for strike two.
Good attempt from Wassel there. Just missed it. I think he timed it well, but just right under it.
Wassel was hugely successful last year, batting .364 in his sophomore campaign. He readies for the 1-2 now, and he jacks this thing a mile high to right field, and playing it is McDonald. Oh, he was just under that one, or that would have gone a long way.
Yeah, just barely got under it, unfortunately. And, yeah, I thought that had potential at first, but McDonald able to get under it for the out. That was a bit disappointing. But now with Stanky coming up, another veteran player on this team, a junior, hopefully Chase can do something here to get the Gophers offense started.
And according to the Gopher Media Guide, he is one of the players likely to declare for the MLB draft or be drafted, as he swings through the first pitch here by some future MLB franchise. So, hopefully we'll see him in a jersey one day with an MLB crest on it. I think he deserves it. Stands in the left-handed batter's box and awaits the 0-1. Here it is. It's high and outside. 1-1 is the count now. And how about this? Literally, as soon as he gets the ball back, Rybarczyk is already set on the mound.
I love it. As a broadcaster, I like it's moving quickly. We keep getting to talk and go through this game rather quickly. We're already in the bottom of the fourth, less than an hour in.
Next pitch is down knee high, and that will be called a strike by the home plate umpire, Rick Allen. 1-2 now.
Rick Allen, same home plate umpire. All of these games so far in the series, Adam Berg and Bill McGuire, the other umpires, out on the bases tonight.
From the windup now, the pitch is high. Fastball coming in with some heat, some velocity there. Count is now 2-2. And Stanky seems to be frustrating Rybarczyk by stepping out to adjust his gloves as he is, as per usual, set on the mound.
I think he comes back with a fastball here. I don't know if Stanky will be able to time it up.
We'll see if your call's right. Here we go. From the windup, long pause and a fire. It is a fastball, and it's blooped out to left field, and it will drop. Minnesota is going to get their third hit of the game, courtesy of Chase Stanky. He will end up at first. The ball is fired back in by the left fielder, Dollagale, and Minnesota has a base runner.
And it brings up Wilhite now, already with a hit tonight, and it was that impressive double that hit off the curtain wall over in right field, which, Jason, I haven't talked with you about that, but what are your thoughts on the whole curtain wall in right field?
I understand it from the perspective that it's easier for the players, almost acting as a secondary batter's eye, as the first pitch is in just low for a ball. Looked like it could have been called a strike from our angle, but it definitely does look a little bit funky. It's a large black, strip in an all-purple seat stadium, so a little interesting. It's also a high wall. There's the yellow line that extends probably about 15, 20 feet above the normal purple wall that's covered in Vikings logos. So certainly an interesting sight, but obviously this stadium was not inherently designed for baseball. And I think they've done a nice job at making it work.
Totally agree. I think it's beautifully done and great connection with Gopher Athletics and US Bank Stadium to allow it to happen.
Count is now 2-0 as Rybarczyk sets for his third offering of the at-bat. It's a changeup, it looked like, and it's over the outside corner of the plate for strike one.
Good get-it-in changeup there from Rybarczyk, and now building back confidence, 2-1. I wouldn't be surprised if he sticks with the off-speed here to try to really mess up Wilhite's timing.
2-1, one out, runner on first. Wilhite stands in the left-handed batter's box and takes the offering. And as you predicted, Grant, it is an off-speed pitch over the middle of the plate, and Wilhite mistimed it by quite a bit.
Yeah, now it's interesting. Do you go back with that off-speed again, or do you throw the fastball? Honestly, I think he has Wilhite so off with the timing, anything's likely going to work here if he gets it in the zone.
I could certainly see a high fastball coming up. That's my prediction. We'll have to wait and see. Not long. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball. It is high, and it is a strikeout. Wilhite sat down on a swinging K. And now up is Ronald Sweeney, the first baseman. Last weekend, he hit a mammoth 3-run homer to center field, looking to replicate here to get the Gophers within a few of the Illini.
Trask was telling me about that. I'm sad I missed it. It sounds like it was one heck of a homer.
Oh, he definitely got quite a bit of barrel on it and sent it a long way. And interesting, the 6'4" big man tries to lay down a bunt. Goes foul into the stands. But you got to love the versatility that Coach Anderson, employs with his Minnesota team.
Yeah, I think that's part of why I love college baseball, just the versatility. It's still feels like it's just kids out there having fun.
Absolutely. The 0-1 is hit very high but shallow. It looks like the shortstop, Comia, is going to try and get under it, and he will do that successfully. Minnesota, no damage done in the bottom of the fourth. We're going to head to commercial. We'll be back top of the fifth. Illinois will get the chance to bat, leading 5-1.
One birthday card sent to me. I miss my own surprise party. It's me, I'm only 21 years old, and now I'm drinking all alone. I use my phone until it dies, just like my plants can't keep anything alive.
as Joker and the Thief wraps up over the speaker system here at US Bank Stadium. We welcome you back. I'm Jason Ruttman alongside Grant Sandberg here at US Bank Stadium in beautiful downtown Minneapolis, Minnesota. Tom Scoro still in for Minnesota, and the first pitch of the inning hits the shortstop Komiya. He'll take a trip down to first base. Thankfully, he seems to be all right. Looked like it got him in the backside or maybe, just beneath the ribs. So, early on, Illinois gets a base runner. They've scored 3 in the second, 2 in the fourth. And now standing in is the right-handed right fielder, McDonald. Scoro, leg kick, fire, and that one is inside as well. McDonald had to jump out of the way. His control does seem to be limited as of right now. And we will await the next pitch. 1-0 is the count. And the offering is hit out, a liner to left field, and right there, of course, is Willite. Nice play by him. Runner will have to retreat to first base. Minnesota has their first out of the inning, and now standing in will be Janis.
Janis 0 for 1 on the night, but was hit by a pitch in the first at-bat, or not at-bat, plate appearance, I should say.
Well, the first pitch of this plate appearance is down the middle for a strike, a nice fastball by Tom Scoro. If you like Gopher Baseball, make sure to follow at MN Gopher Baseball on Instagram, at Gopher Baseball on Twitter, and Gopher Baseball on Facebook. The next offering is outside and low. Looked like a changeup to me from up here in the broadcast booth.
Yeah, Scoro does have good off-speed. His issue right now is he's just leaving it up over the plate, and that's why he's getting hit so hard.
I would agree with that statement. Next pitch is in and low in the dirt. Nice block by Stanky. 2-1 is now the count. Scoro. Next one home. Nearly clipped him. Wow, good move by Janis to avoid it.
Yeah, that'll wake up the freshman, Janis. That's definitely a fast college fastball going right past your face. That's scary. See how he comes back here. I think Scoro almost takes advantage of that. You should throw this one inside corner.
Runner takes off as this ball is lifted in the air to left field. Willite goes over, and it will reach the bleachers, but thankfully for the Gophers, foul. Count is now full, 3-2, as Willite slowly jogs back to his position in left field, and Komiya retreats back to first base. This is a big pitch here for Scoro. You either put 2 on with 1 out, or you have 1 on with 2 out. The payoff pitch, the 3-2. Here we go. It's in. Runner takes off again, and this one is shot down the left field line. It will fall. Heading towards third is Komiya. The throw is good. He will be out, is the call by third base umpire Bill McGuire. No argument from Komiya, and a beautiful play by Willite. A great throw after running probably 50 or 75 feet to pick up that ball.
Beautiful throw, but also a great pick by Wassel and a beautiful tag. Komiya, as great of a player as he is, was just totally burnt there.
Well, got a little greedy on the base paths and pays the price. So, 1 on still, but 2 outs, even though a hit was recorded. Illinois' 7th of the day. And the next batter up is number 29, Aid. First pitch will be a curveball, down but a strike, called by home plate umpire Rick Allen. He's been pretty consistent over the past few games, wouldn't you say, Grant?
I'd agree. I think he's done a really good job behind the plate.
Next offering is a beautiful off-speed pitch, and Aid had no chance of touching up on that one.
Yeah, Aid looked silly there.
0-2 now, so a little bit of leeway for Scoro. He sets, checks the runner at first, and now delivers home, except he lifted his leg like he was going to end up throwing over to first base. He even fooled me up here in the broadcast booth.
It's the benefits of being a left-handed pitcher. You can do that leg lift and still head over to first as long as you don't go more than 45 degrees over.
Well, interestingly, I actually saw something that minor league baseball is considering trying out a new tactic where lefties have to step off to throw over as well.
As a left-handed pitcher myself, I hate that.
I understand. I was a righty, so, third base was easy. But if there was a runner on third base, it probably meant that I had done something kind of bad. So, never looking forward to that. The previous pitch was a ball, and this one is a looking strikeout fastball right down the middle. Scoro escapes with no damage. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth. Illinois 5, Minnesota 1. To all of our viewers, thank you for tuning in to Radio K Sports. Jason Ruttman, Grant Sandberg here at US Bank Stadium. The Gophers have some work to do offensively. They trail 5-1 as we enter the bottom of the fifth. Up now is the sophomore Elliott. First pitch of the at-bat will be high, but directly over the plate. Ball will be assessed in Elliott's first at-bat. He took a base on balls, free pass down to first, looking to get on base again here. Barczyk with efficiency as always, fires a slider over, and this one is going to be low. Nice block by the catcher Campbell. 2-0.
He was so efficient. When we came back on air for this half inning, he was already ready to go. He's more prepared than we are.
Absolutely. It's definitely challenging for hitters, in my opinion, that way. The idea that you have to be ready when the pitcher is. Next pitch of the at-bat is over the inside corner for a strike. Didn't look like Elliott had any intention of swinging until a first strike was thrown in this inning.
I agree, and when you're down 4 runs, that's probably the smart call.
Minnesota continues to look for base runners. A lot of room up the middle if Elliott can make contact with it, but he swings over the top of this one, and the count will become 2-2.
Interesting where Roberczyk goes here. He kind of has Elliott all over the map right now, 2-2.
From the outside corner of the mound, Roberczyk fires, and this one is smoked to the third baseman, Raper, who snags it out of midair. And Grant, the look on your face says it all.
Such a beautiful hit by Elliott. Great contact right down the line. Raper just was playing him perfectly and snagged it.
I would agree with that. Illinois did seem to be playing a shift, pushing a little towards the line. And, the scouting report paid off, as if Raper was any other location where a third baseman would play, that thing would be down and into the corner for a double, but he was able to pick this one out before it touches the ground, and the first out has been recorded. Now up is Bertrand, and he takes a quick strike from Robarczyk.
Gophers starting to make some movements now over in the bullpen. Wouldn't be surprised if they make a change somewhat through the 6th inning.
Well, Scoro has been hot and cold tonight. He's had a few good innings, a few rough innings, but Minnesota offensively has had almost all rough innings, and therefore they are down by 4. Next pitch of the at-bat is way outside, but swung at by Bertrand. That was a tough look.
Yeah, I think that was more credit, honestly, to Ty Roberczyk, who just threw a beautiful slider.
It is a filthy pitch that comes out of his hand with a lot of movement. The 1-2 coming in now. It is smoked foul, and the third base coach for Minnesota just lifted up his leg, not even trying to avoid getting hit.
So
by
nonchalant.
moving. Very.
I don't think I'll ever be as cool as him.
I most certainly will not. But there is a reason that the first and third base coaches wear helmets, and that is it. The next 1-2 offering is outside. 2-2 will become the count now. Bertrand had a sacrifice ground out back in the third inning, his only other plate appearance. Like we said, Minnesota has not been super efficient at the plate. Only 3 hits this far in the game, and Bertrand will go down on strikes here. Another slider on the outside corner, and he was fooled yet again.
Top of the order here for the Gophers. Unfortunately, though, with 2 outs already, even a hit or a walk here, you still have to get a lot going for a 2-out rally.
Unfortunately so. Grimm is 0 for 2 so far, but it looks like he's seen the ball well out of Rabarchuk's hands. He hit a long fly out to both right and left field in his 2 at-bats. He'll stand in and take the first pitch. A fastball on the outside corner, strike assessed by home plate umpire Rick Allen. On deck, Boston Marilla, the switch hitter. He's warming up as a lefty, and this next pitch will be high, and the count will become 1-1. Grimm, wearing number 13 in maroon and gold, stands in. Pitch is fouled away towards the opposing Illini dugout. 1-2.
Yeah, and if you're listening for the first time, these dugouts are just old container ships that they threw together to turn into a dugout. Kind of a funny look here at US Bank Stadium. I love it personally.
I think it's a great way to reduce, reuse, and recycle as this ball is fouled away and towards the Illinois bullpen. Players scramble out of the way. But going back to the shipping container, for those of you at home, basically it is a large gray box sitting, roughly 30, 35 feet from home plate, and they have just put, mesh wire in front of it to protect the players from foul balls, but it seems to be working. This ball is hit pretty high and towards the line in right, and was that caught? That was an unbelievable catch by Dolegale in left field to end the inning. Running over towards the Minnesota bullpen and just about at the wall. He snags it. We'll head to the top of the 6th. Minnesota not able to do anything offensively this time around. They'll get another chance in just a moment. Thank you very much for joining us at Radio K Sports Radio, Real Sports Radio. Jason Ruttman, Grant Sandberg coming to you live from US Bank Stadium. During the half inning, Minnesota has decided to go to their bullpen, and pitching for them now will be number 27, Nolan Burchell, the 6'1 righty. junior out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. He replaces Tom Scoro, who in his first start against Rutgers last weekend was unbelievably good. 6 innings, 8 strikeouts, no runs allowed, but in this one he struggled a little bit. He had a throwing error, gave up 2 long homers and a double, along with a few other miscellaneous hits, and Minnesota now trails by a score of 5-1. Stepping into the box for the Fighting Illini is the catcher Campbell. He'll stand in, and the first pitch will graze him in the shoulder, and he'll get a free pass down to first base.
Not a great start for Burchill, like you said, 6'1" right-hander out of Sioux Falls. 3 straight years academic All Big Ten. Career 5.88 ERA. However, the redshirt senior has 1 appearance so far this season, 3 2/3, 2 earned. Really struggled in the shortened 2020 season, however, with an 8.44 ERA.
Well, Coach Anderson has trusted him to hold the Fighting Illini offensively in the top of the 6th here, as this pitch is high and outside for ball 1. In the batter's box now is the senior left-handed third baseman Raper. Well, I say left-handed. He plays the field with a glove on his left hand, meaning that he's a righty thrower, but in the batter's box he stands closer to first base than he does to third, so he is a lefty. Second pitch is outside with some velocity on it. 2-0 is now the count.
Raper 2 for 2 on the night. He's had a great day. A little slow start to the series for him, but he's starting to heat up now, and he's showing why he's a great senior player.
Burchill turns and fires over to first base. Keep the runner honest. He's able to dive back in easily. He'll take his time getting back to the pitcher's mound. He now waits. Big lead over at first base by Campbell. Doesn't go anywhere, but the pitch is outside. Count is now 3-0. Do you give him the green light here, Grant?
It's tough to say here. I probably would. I think I'm a big fan of giving the green light, but it's a green light, but it has to be in that perfect spot for him.
Well, he won't even need the green light. That ball is way outside, and another runner will reach base for Illinois. No outs, runners on first and second, and all of a sudden Minnesota's in trouble yet again.
Yeah, and especially now Watson's the 9-hitter for these Illini. Then the batting order turns over, and I think Burchill could be in a lot of trouble.
I would agree with that. No one up in the Minnesota pen right now, so Burchill is going to have to take on this challenge alone. And now standing in is the freshman Watson. Righty against righty matchup here. And the first pitch, Watson showed bunt, and he decided to take it as the ball was upstairs.
Probably smart decision, especially with your 9-hitter wanting to bunt here. You'll give up the out to get 2 in scoring position and then having the top of your order up.
Sweeney playing way in down the first baseline in preparation for a bunt. The rest of the infield just about normal. And this one is a swinging strike. Ball was upstairs yet again, but, you know, it was just too tempting for Watson to hold off.
Surprised he was not bunting on that one.
No shift in the outfield. Infield, very minor shift towards the corners, but that could just be because there are runners on first and second. The 1-1 pitch is called a strike by home plate umpire Rick Allen.
Watson looked to bunt on this one, so now I'm all confused. First pitch tries to bunt, second pitch doesn't, third pitch does. What do you think he does here?
Well, being that he has 2 strikes, I can't see him bunting, especially with no outs, because a foul bunt is a strikeout, so I'm guessing that he's swinging away. We will see. Here's the pitch, and he takes it. Ball was high again. Burchill seems to be struggling to keep the ball down in these few at-bats that he's, pitched against so far.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, pretty much every ball he's missing is high, and that's going to be scary if he starts bringing that down just a little lower. That's right in the middle of the zone for Watson.
Very good point. Here's the pitch, and it is in the middle of the zone. Thankfully, Watson was late on it and shoots it foul down the first base line.
That one was well up into the seats, maybe 20 or 30 rows into those empty bleachers.
Yeah, if he had turned on that thing and kept it in the field of play, that may have had a chance at leaving. However, it is 2-2. Watson's still up. No outs. Runners on first and second for the Fighting Illini. And the pitch is inside. Stanky pops up out of the crouch and faked a throw over to first base. Sweeney ran over to cover, but ball never left his hand.
With a full count now, and Illinois has already shown they're aggressive on the base paths, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to double steal here.
I think that would be a smart call for them, especially as they try and expand this lead, but they will not call a double steal, and a punch-out will be called by Rick Allen. Watson takes a seat on a high fastball, and Minnesota has their first out of the sixth inning.
Yeah, Watson, I think, was a little rattled there. He's bunting, then he stopped bunting, gets the 2 strikes, doesn't want to bunt now. Fouls one off, he's late, then there's a ball in the dirt. He just got a little too rattled there and wasn't really expecting a fastball right down the middle. That's what Burchill gives him, and he gets the first out for him.
Can't be easy for a freshman. However, he takes a seat on some pine, and now is Jackson. He takes a strike on the outside corner to begin his AB. Burchill already up to 13 pitches on the night. He has recorded 1 out so far. Has hit a batter and then walked a batter. And he will prepare to deal again. Fires in, and this one is also rifled down the first base line and into the purple bleachers. Count is now 0-2. So I'm guessing that Jackson's going to choke up here and just try and make contact.
Yeah, I agree. Interesting where Burchill goes here to see first time he's really had a big advantage against one of these hitters.
He decides to throw a slider. It goes outside on the right-handed Jackson. 1-2 now. An eerily quiet U.S. Bank Stadium. And here comes the next pitch. It's fouled off into the protective netting behind home plate. We'll redo the 1-2 sequence all over again.
That was a great job by Jackson, just trying to stay alive like you talked about. Choked up, knew he wasn't going to be able to put that in play, but just whacked at it to stay alive.
Burchill taking a long time in between pitches, in stark contrast to Scoro, who we saw earlier, and this pitch is fouled off yet again. I'm telling you, Jackson's putting together a quality at bat here.
Yeah, he is, and it's still only 1-2. This at bat could be going on for a while.
Well, it already is 10:12 p.m., so getting late. The game started late at 8:48, even though the scheduled start time was 8 p.m. as a result of the 7-inning doubleheader that was called. And now a high fastball strikeout again for Burchill. 2 outs as Jackson will join Watson on the pine.
Well done there. Now Burchill, who struggled to start this inning, is 1 out away, really just one good pitch away from getting out of this one.
He'll have to go through the outfielder Dolegil to get there. Freshman, 1 for 3 on the day. First pitch is fouled back into the protective netting again, as Rick Allen will get a replenishment of baseballs. Pace of play has certainly slowed down here in the top of the 6th inning, as Nolan Burchill has come into the game for Minnesota. His next 0-1 pitch over the outside corner, a beautiful strike.
That was great. Just totally painted the corner there.
And a fantastic frame by Chase Stanky on top of it. So, 0-2 yet again. Dolegale looking to fight off a strikeout. He shoots this one foul. And we'll do it again.
Good job to just stay alive there by Dolegale. And for a freshman, he's played extremely well this series. Some amazing plays in the outfield as well as good discipline at the plate.
Well, throughout this entire series, Illinois has been playing super well overall, in my opinion, especially defensively. Well, this one is shot back towards the mound. It bounces off the glove of Birchill. He slides, fires to first, and he will be safe. A valiant effort by Birchill, but he is unable to get the runner out, so bases are now loaded.
Yeah, that was unfortunate there. Birchill just couldn't quite grab it. But honestly, it was going so slowly that even if he let it go past him, I don't know if the second baseman would have been able to run up and get him.
No, Boston Marilla was playing deep in the hole there, anticipating a hard hit ball, not the soft grounder that came off the bat of Dolegale. So now they'll have to face Comia, who has been their all-star so far this season. He'll take one ball to begin the at-bat. And Minnesota finds himself in a dangerous situation yet again. However, one good pitch can get them out of this inning with no damage done. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Next pitch is outside. 2-0. Can't get into a deep hole here if you're Birchill. You do not want to have to throw one over the heart of the plate or risk walking a run in.
Totally agree. Comey is a dangerous hitter. He's struggling this year, but he is a great hitter and one of the best in the whole country at shortstop.
The 2-0 pitch on the outside corner, but it will be called a ball again. And so all of a sudden, 3-0. What are you doing here, Grant?
You have to throw a strike here somehow. If you don't have confidence with the off speed, you have to just test him with the fastball.
A risky endeavor. We'll see if he does it. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball, and it's going to be outside again. 4 straight outside pitches, and the runners will all advance a base. Illinois now leads 6-3, and bases remain loaded for the cleanup hitter, Cam McDonald.
Yeah, not a good look for Birchill there. 4-pitch walk is never good. McDonald struggling in this game, but great so far in the series. Big opportunity for him still with the bases loaded.
McDonald, the right-handed sophomore, stands fairly straight up in the batter's box, hands roughly at his shoulder, and he'll take a strike to begin the at-bat. The Minnesota faithful, all 75 or 100 of them here at US Bank Stadium, have gone silent. The 0-1 pitch is blasted, but way foul. Ooh, wow, that was probably 35 rows up.
Yeah, and that smacked one of those seats. Feel bad for the Gopher employee who has to be tracking down all these foul balls.
Birchill from the stretch. Sets, hands at his hip. Now he'll lift the leg and fire home. And strike 3 on a high fastball. Sitting down is McDonald, and the Gophers will escape in a situation much better than what could have been. Illinois plates 1, but they leave 3 on base. We'll be back in the bottom of the 6th, where Minnesota will try and recover the 5-run deficit. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us here at Radio K Sports. I'm Jason Ruttman alongside Grant Sandberg. We're coming to you from US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where the Gophers trail by a score of 6-1. Looking to change that is the second baseman, Boston Marilla. He's 1 for 2 on the day, and he will take a ball to begin the at-bat.
Good eye there. It was a nice slider. Went right over the plate, but a little low.
The next pitch is shot towards the second baseman, grounded just outside the white painted line that would represent the dirt if we weren't inside on turf, and it will be scooped up by Watson and fired over to Janis for the first out of the inning.
Haven't seen Watson need to make many plays at second base, but he handled that textbook.
I would agree with that. That was the 70th pitch of the night for Tyra Barczyk, who has been just about spotless. 5.1 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. And he's faced 20 batters. So, solid game from him so far.
Totally.
If he continues at this pace, he will qualify for a quality start. And the first pitch of the at-bat to Zach Robbie is a ball, as is the second. Fastball high. Scrapes off his cleats and now resets. Robbie taps the plate twice, swirls his bat around, and prepares. Kicking the pitch, Robbie watches it walk right down the middle of the plate. A nice slider.
I love the Gophers playing the mind games, trying to get Rabarczyk to slow down, stepping out of the batter's box every time. Unfortunately, it just doesn't seem to be working.
You are correct. And the next pitch is another slider right over the heart of the plate. Robbie does not seem to be seeing it well, and he'll take another strike, 2-2. No one up in either team's bullpen. And now from the windup, firing home, and another slider to Robbie. This one's outside, looking to get him to chase.
Good pitch, just wasn't able to get Robbie to bite, and now full count.
Robbie is very dangerous in these situations. He leads the team in home runs this year. He'll loft this one to deep left field. Heading back is Dolegale to the track, to the wall. It's gone, maybe? I'm not sure where that hit, but it will be chased down by Dolegale, and walking into third is Robbie.
Yeah, I thought that might have been a home run. This is finally where US Bank Stadium makes it a little confusing. The umps are already trying to decide if it was a homer or not here. I thought it might have been, as it looked like it bounced off the railing. What did you think, Jason?
It looked like a homer to me as well. Robbie even standing at third with his palms raised to the sky, asking, was that ball not over the fence? But US Bank Stadium, obviously not a baseball stadium at heart, so it can be a little difficult to see. Umpires have gathered in between third base and the pitcher's mound to discuss, as Zach Robbie stands on third awaiting his fate. Regardless of what happened, that ball was a moonshot and deep by Robbie, and they're going to make him stay at third base, and the Minnesota dugout has exploded.
Wow. Yeah, interesting call there. To be fair, though, that's tough to see for the umpires. They were long ways away, tough to tell, and I think they have to stick with their gut and just keep him on third.
Well, the umpires are still getting jawed at by the home dugout as Jack Wassel steps into the left-handed batter's box. Zach Robbie stands on third, and Wassel will take the first pitch high. I'm telling you, I thought that was gone.
Yeah, now the ump is going to have to calm down the Minnesota bullpen specifically. They're really yelling.
Wow, the music is drowning out some of what's being said here, but I can tell you that those are not nice words being exchanged.
Yeah, that's for sure. Good thing it's not being picked up over the airwaves.
That is true. The FCC would not be happy. But the game looks like it will resume as Rick Allen gets back into the mask behind home plate and signals to Rabarczyk that he is free to pitch. stadium with a little bit more noise now, and Wassel takes another pitch for a ball.
Sorry to cut you off, Jason, but I think this run's likely going to score regardless, but if it doesn't and the inning ends, I think the crowd's going to erupt in boos.
I would agree. I'm almost a little surprised that we didn't see Coach Anderson, take a step out onto the field and get an explanation for why that was not ruled a home run, as Wassel lofts this one foul into the stands. And another deficit of college baseball in comparison to the major is that they don't have a replay system. So the umpires have no way of telling whether that ball actually went out or not. Robbie creeps down the third base line, and Wassel swings through a high fastball. 2-2 is the count. So far, Wassel is 0 for 2, grounded out to the pitcher, and then flew out to right field. He readies himself for the next offering. And he will foul it off, again towards the third base stands. We'll do it again.
Still with the ball to give is Ty Rabarczyk, so I wouldn't be surprised if he throws one that's might even be outside or an off-speed pitch that ends up outside to see if Wassel chases.
And instead, he will throw an off-speed pitch over the plate, and Wassel does not make contact with it. He will take a seat on the bench. 2 outs as Chase Stanky walks up to a song that has his namesake written all over it, the Stanky Leg.
Great walk-up song choice. You have to do that if that's your last name.
100%. Trask and I were having that conversation last Sunday. It's one of my personal favorites. Twirls the bat twice and now gets set. First pitch, he hits towards the second baseman, Watson. Fired over to first, and the run won't score. And like you predicted, Grant, the Minnesota dugout is not happy.
Yeah, we'll see if that's one run's going to come back to cost them, but Gophers still trailing by 5 as we head to the last third of the game. 7th inning will be up right after this. Welcome back, everyone, here on Radio K Sports Radio. Grant Sandberg here, taking over the play-by-play back from Jason Ruttman. Jason, thank you so much for doing the play-by-play there for those middle innings. Unfortunate, Gophers give up a few more runs during those innings, so trailing 6-1 now, as Nolan Burchill still in. 1 inning, 1 hit, and 1 earned run. And the first pitch is going to be hit to the center fielder, Bertrand. And that was Janis, the freshman, who's going to fly out 1 pitch, 1 out to start the top of the 7th.
Well, solid contact there from Janis. He just didn't get enough on it, and it was hit directly to Bertrand. He took maybe 3 steps.
That'll bring up Aide, who was 0 for 3, but a run scored as he reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. Otherwise grounded out, and then a strikeout. So Nolan Burchill still out of the stretch. Bullpen pitcher, no windup at all for him, and he comes in first pitch right over the middle but low for a ball.
I will say I'm a little bit surprised that, Minnesota didn't come in with someone new from the bullpen. Burchell's already at 30 pitches, and he's given up a run. And I'm assuming they want to keep everyone's arms loose, no?
Yeah, I think so, as this ball is fouled off to just past the third base line for a strike. 1-1 now. I think also down 5 runs, though. They're hoping to maybe save a few people for tomorrow's game. Hoping that might be a bit closer as the Gophers lost the first 2 of the series. They have tonight to come back and tomorrow, as this one is fast and inside for a ball. 2-1 now, 1 out here in the top of the 7th.
Well, Grant and I will be covering that game tomorrow night, so make sure to tune in. Same YouTube channel. Also, make sure to subscribe and click the bell so that you know when every game is on.
Little dribbler now right in front of the pitcher. Number 27, Burchill, throws it wide of first base. Don't think they would have had the speedy runner aid, so it's an infield single.
Well, those little hits can come back to cost Minnesota in the end. There's not much you can do about it, though. It was played just about as good as it could have been, I believe, by Burchill. Righty pitcher, a little off balance after he threw that and had to wobble over and get it. Unfortunately, he just couldn't muster enough up on the throw to throw out the, like you were saying, very fast aid.
And now here comes Campbell, 2 for 2. 3 runs scored, 2 RBIs, hit a home run in the second. And he swings right through the first slider from Burchill. 0-1. Aid over at first base. Taking a few strides here, a bit of a conservative lead.
Campbell has reached base on all 3 plate appearances that he's had. He hit a homer in the second, singled in the first, and then got hit by a pitch in the 6th.
After the pitch, they try to pick off Aid, but not able to get him in time. Good throw from Stanky, the catcher. Pitch was a ball, so it's now 1-1. They changed that, actually. Umpire said strike, so 0-2 now to Campbell. And a good job by Burchill to get ahead of him. Strike away now from getting out of this, and 1 pitch away from out of the inning if they could force a double play. Let's see what happens. It's a slider low in the dirt, well outside, though, for a ball. 1-2.
Nice block there by Stanky. Down on all 4s by the time the ball got to him, using his chest guard to keep it from rolling to the backstop, and holds the runner at first.
Burchill looking in for the signs now. Quickly checks over to Aid as he comes set. Goes towards the plate. Very high fastball. And Campbell didn't even have to think about that one. 2-2 now. Raper on deck, also 2 for 2 on the night. And then Watson in the hole, 1 for 2 on the night. So this bottom of the lineup's doing well. And there's stolen base. No, it was fouled off by Campbell, a potential hit and run. And Aid's going to have to go back to first base, and the count stays at 2-2.
Well, I do like the aggressive strategy from Illinois. You're up 5 and want to extend that lead so that Minnesota has no chance of coming back. So, sending a fast runner, hit and run, 1 out, I think that's a good plan.
The Gophers did put up 6 runs in the final inning of the first game of the doubleheader, so Gophers can do some damage offensively as Burchill tries to throw over to first. Can't pick off Aid, though. It was a good tag by Sweeney, just a little late, though.
Sweeney is a right-handed first baseman, a trend that has become more popular in recent years. Originally, back in the 90s and early 2000s, you would only see lefties at first.
Ground out to third here, potential double play. Can't handle it very well, so they just have to go to first, and he'll throw out Campbell there. That was Wassel with the bobble.
Smart play by Wassel. Didn't have great possession of the ball when he first scooped it up in the glove, and Aid is pretty quick on his way to second base. So take the sure out and go into this next at-bat knowing that you only need 1 more to get out of the half inning.
1 more out needed to get out of this 7th. But Raper hasn't been retired yet tonight. He has a walk, a double, and a home run. Scored twice on the night. And this one's going to be in for a strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
Beautiful pitch there by Burchill. A lot of velocity and a lot of control to keep it knee high and over the outside corner. That's a tough pitch to hit if you're Raper.
Burchill comes set and looks over to second base. Still looking over. Comes to home plate now. Ball just outside. And then no call from the umpire, so it's a ball. 1-1.
On deck is the freshman Watson. He's 1 for 2 on the evening. Gophers hoping they won't have to face him in this inning.
Here comes the pitch inside for a ball, 2-1. Watson is the number 9 hitter, so if he gets on and they start to rally somehow with 2 outs, then they flip the lineup, and all of a sudden you got Jackson, the junior, who's actually had a rough night tonight, 0 for 4, but still a big threat in the box. 2-1 now. Burchill comes set. Burchill comes to the plate, and a off-speed pitch. Raper was way ahead of that one. 2-2.
Yeah, Raper clearly thought that was going to be a fastball 100%, and he had already swung through it before the ball even reached the plate. So, fantastic pitch there by Burchill.
Here comes the next pitch. Another off speed. This time Raper able to make contact with it, but it goes foul. Count still 2-2. Burchill still looking over at 8 at second base, not giving him as much attention though as he comes to the plate. This one's going to be fouled over the Gopher dugout about 10 rows deep. Went pretty far though, a couple hundred feet down the line.
Solid contact, and it looks like we actually have some movement and commotion in the Illinois bullpen. Someone has begun to throw. It looks like a left-handed pitcher, just soft tossing as of right now. No one up in the Minnesota pen. Burchill already up to 40 pitches on the night.
Here's the 41st from Burchill, and another foul. This one up into the second deck. And lefties warming up, like you said. Gophers do have 2 lefties to start up the bottom of the 7th. Would you bring him in for that, or do you leave in Ty Rubachark, who's done a great game, only one run and 4 hits over 6 innings?
Well, he's up to, 80, 82 pitches around now, and for a college baseball player, that's pretty standard. So, let him leave with a great game in hand, his confidence up, his ERA down. I think that it would be not a bad idea to bring in someone from the bullpen.
Ball just outside. Good eye by Raper, and that's going to make it a full count. 3-2, 2 outs, top of the 7th. Gophers trail 6-1. The Illini with 9 hits, Gophers with 4. 8 at second base. Raper in the box. Here's the payoff pitch. Way outside, and that's going to be a walk. Not the end of the world, though, as they had that free base at first. And now Burchill will get the righty-on-righty matchup against the freshman Watson, number 22, second baseman. Doubled in the second inning, then flew out in the 4th, but it was a sac fly for an RBI, and then struck out in the 6th. So he's had an up-and-down night and an opportunity here for more RBIs as a man in scoring position is 8 on second base. First pitch is a slider right down the middle for strike 1.
Watson actually has a super cool major, in my opinion, sports psychology.
Interesting. Yeah, you don't see that major very often.
No, I like that one.
Cool mix, though, definitely.
He was the 2019 Conference Player of the Year, so high hopes for his future here at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. Wisconsin native as well, across the border.
Burchill comes set and throws now, and a check swing fouled. That one came up and in on Watson, couldn't get out of the way. Ends up hitting his bat 0-2, and Burchill finally has an advantage on a hitter. He's walked 3 hitters. He has struck out 3, but like Jason said, his pitch count's high. He's had almost 50 pitches now and just 11 batters he's faced.
Yeah, I know. If I'm Burchill here, I'm going to try and throw something off speed and in the dirt. See if you can get the freshman to chase.
Throws off speed, slider away. Can't get Watson to chase, though, so 1-2. I think you go back to that slider right here.
His slider has been good. Either that or a changeup. Maybe something that looks like it's coming out of the hand as a slider, but then doesn't move, just drops a little bit.
We'll see. Here comes the pitch from Burchill. Fastball just off the corner, looked like a two-seam trying to get it back door. Doesn't work. 2-2 now. 2 outs. Top of the 7th. 10:39 p.m. here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Radio K Sports. Grant Sandberg alongside Jason Ruttman. One of the first times we've been able to broadcast live since football games back in the fall. Here comes the pitch. Slider low and away. Good eye by Watson. And now we have a full count. 3-2, 2 outs. The runners are going to be going. So if you hit it in the gap here, it's guaranteed 2 runs, and that would make it really difficult for the Gophers to come back.
Yeah, this is a very, very important payoff pitch from Burchill. Has to be over the plate, but it can't be easily hittable.
And it's fouled away, so we'll get another here, as that was right down the middle. But pretty fast. Watson was a little behind on it.
I'm super impressed with Watson this game. His patience in the batter's box has been really good, especially for someone who doesn't have a ton of collegiate experience.
Can Watson fight off another pitch, maybe get a single out of it, or take another walk, as Burchill has walked more than he's given up hits? Burchill looks to aid at second. Now he comes to the plate. And, outside corner, strike him out. And that'll end the 7th. Watson not happy about that. He thought he had ball 4, but instead we head to the bottom of the 7th. We'll be back after this. Welcome back, everyone, here live from U.S. Bank Stadium. I'm Grant Sandberg alongside Jason Ruttman. Bottom of the 7th. Hope you were able to get up and stretch for the 7th inning stretch. Take Me Out to the Ball game was played throughout the stadium. All 70 fans were up on their feet. And strike 1 is taken by Andrew Wilhite. Ty Rubberchick still in the game. 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 strikeouts, a walk, and only 1 earned. Next pitch for him is inside. 1-1 now to Wilhite. Wilhite 1 for 2, on the day, with a double in the 2nd, strikeout in the 4th. Here comes the pitch. Swung right over the top of it was Wilhite. 1-2 now.
I've just been so impressed with Rhubarczyk tonight. I mean, not only does he pitch really, really efficiently, he's also always ready to go. Like, he's excited for the next pitch, excited for the next opportunity to get a strike or get an out.
Next pitch he throws is the 85th of the night for him, outside. 2-2 now. Probably only a few more hitters for him, as Illinois does have a lefty starting to warm up a bit more intensely now. And this one's hit high and deep to right. Is it going to go? No, it looks like just in front of the warning track, McDonald's going to be able to grab that one, and Wilhite just got under it.
Yeah, there's been a few instances of that for Minnesota tonight where they hit it 1.5 miles into the air, but don't have the distance to get it to clear the wall. So Ronald Sweeney will be up next for Minnesota, the hard-slugging first baseman who wears number 4.
Sweeney hit one of those wannabe home runs you were talking about that got high up in the air, was going a ways, but then just died. He's 0 for 2 on the night. Fly out and a pop out. Pop out was to the short. Fly out to Dolgale and left, as the first 2 pitches of this at bat are high and outside for balls.
So interesting for outfielders because on the third base side of the field, so for the left fielder and for half of the center field territory, as this pitch is in and a check swing will be called a strike, the roof is relatively clear. But on the other side of the stadium, for right field and for the other half of center field's territory, it's actually covered by white paneling.
As this one's hit high and going to be shallow right, McDonald comes in and snags it for a second out.
But going back to my point, for the right fielder, I'm guessing it's probably pretty hard to see the ball in between all the white paneling up there on the roof of US Bank Stadium. And I remember the white roof used to be a big complaint from major league players, especially AL Central opponents of the Minnesota Twins, because the Metrodome had a white roof and they would, lose the ball up there in the lights or even sometimes in the speaker system, which was always a treat to see.
Elliott now 0 for 1 on the night, tries to bunt in the first pitch, fouled back though, 0-1. He did reach on a walk in the third inning.
But Grant, I was going to ask you, going back to the point one more time, do you think it's easier for the left fielder to pick up and catch the fly balls than it is for the right fielder?
I think it's easier for the left fielder to catch the ball for sure, as this pitch comes in high and outside. However, the left fielder has a lot more ground to work with that fence being so far back. So I think it almost cancels out. I think both are struggling.
That is a good point.
This one's hit high to left. Dolgale didn't take a great angle to it, but he's able to get under it last second. And that's going to end the inning. 3 pop-outs, not a good showing for the Gophers. End of 7 here. Gophers trail 6-1. We'll be right back after this.
I want you to take me for a ride in your car. You've got a sunroof so we can look up at the stars. Play me a cover of my favorite Frankie song. And we'll both sing along. All I want to do is write a song for you, but I don't know how to play guitar like you do. My voice is shaky and I don't know what to say, but I'll stay up and try anyway.
Welcome back, everyone. That was Frankie on Lake Street by Bathroom Sig. Jason, have you ever heard of Bathroom Sig before tonight?
I have not, but the song was kind of catchy.
I did like it. The band names that these people come up with, I am just not that creative. It's impressive. First pitch from Burchill, who's still out there, high and deep to right, but snagged by Grimm for the out. Otto Grimm with the play. 6-1, Gophers still trail here in the top of the 8th. Gophers do have some action in their pen now. Illinois definitely with some action in their bullpen, so I would not be surprised if Ruberchik's night is over. If so, hats off to him. He did very well. And now number 21, Dolgale is in. And he rips it down the first base line, but just foul, 0-1.
I mean, Burchill's up to 56 pitches on the night as well. for a reliever. That's an unbelievably high amount, almost unprecedented.
Yeah, very weird to see him doing that. You don't see that often. His career high is 5 innings. He did pitch that, though, back in 2017 when he was a starter. Hasn't really started since then, though. 0-2 now to Dolagale, who's 2 for 4 on the night. Couple singles, a pop out, and a strikeout looking. 0-2, see what Burchill does here. Throws it still in the zone as Dolagale goes opposite field, and caught in equivalent to the end zone is Will Height for the second out and a quick moving top of the 8th there.
That is one of the fun parts about being at US Bank Stadium. The paint lines from the Vikings football field have not been erased, so intersecting with, some of the even brighter white lines for baseball, you still have an NFL logo, the 40-yard line, the end zones, the sidelines, the players' benches area are painted out in yellow.
Quick ground out to Burchill, and just like that, 3 up, 3 down. That was maybe the smoothest half inning I've seen all weekend.
I would agree with that.
We will be back right after this.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us on Radio K Sports Radio. Illinois has changed their pitcher for the first time this evening. It's number 31, Ryan O'Hara, the freshman out of Glenview, Illinois. His major is finance. His first ever career start was just last weekend against Ohio State, where he pitched 2.2 innings, gave up 1 hit and 1 earned run, but recorded 4 strikeouts. So that's pretty cool.
Jason, I got to ask you, you're from Illinois. There's a lot of players, obviously, on this Illinois team from Illinois. Any from your high school or near your high school?
So actually, he went to Glenbrook South, which is, about 20 minutes from me, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I have some cousins who go there. So
Cool
to see that tie to home.
Yeah, a bit of a local game for you.
A local game, sure. And I was telling you during the TV timeout, I have some friends who go to Illinois, and we talked briefly earlier today about this game, and they decided to take a little road trip to Indianapolis, check out Illinois' semifinal game, which they won today. They advanced to the Big Ten Championship.
Yeah, March Madness is so close. I can't wait. First pitch comes in to Bertrand from the new pitcher for the Illini, Ryan O'Hara, strike 1. Next pitch is quite a bit outside, 1-1 now.
Grant, do you have any predictions for March Madness?
It's tough to say right now. I really like Michigan to make Final Four. Arkansas potentially also in the Final Four, as Bertrand's going to pop this one up, and short left, Dolagale comes in. And you know what, Jason? If you want to hear maybe your predictions or my predictions, if you're listening at home, tune into the Sports Hour on Tuesday nights, and you'll hear us talk for hours and hours and just blabbering on about college basketball, hockey, NHL. We got it all.
It is a blast. Make sure to tune in. It's on all the major streaming services, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, even on the Radio K website. You can just search it in the Google search engine, and I'm sure it'll be the first result. So if you're interested in listening to the Sports Hour, it's a blast to record, and I'm hoping that it's a blast to listen to for you guys at home.
Drew Stahl, number 10, the pinch hitter for the Gophers. And he's going to try to push bunt down the first base line. Just goes foul, though, 0-1.
Stahl is the normal starting shortstop for Minnesota. He got most of the night off today, but he'll come in for a pinch hit attempt.
O'Hara looked good there in the first batter he faced. Got Bertrand to fly out, or pop out, I should say. Second pitch now to Stahl is a strike, 0-2. Not a great start for the Gophers here in the bottom of the eighth.
O'Hara in high school was a multi-sport athlete. He was the football team MVP, and he was all-conference in football as a senior.
Impressive. I feel like a lot of these college athletes are so talented, and changeup pulls the string and strikes out Stahl there. Gophers down quickly, and only 4 outs to go for the Gophers. They're going to need to do something offensively if they want to win this game.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's going to start with base runners. That's the fundamental thing that Minnesota has struggled to do tonight. They have not been able to string together base runners. They only have 4 hits, few walks, no hit by pitches. So if they want runs, they got to put some more people on the base paths to force them home.
Strike one right down the middle to Boston Marilla, number 33, 1 for 3 on the night.
Marilla playing second base tonight for Zach Robbie, who has served as the DH.
He grounds it out to third here. Marilla is going to be thrown out rather quickly, and just like that, the 8th inning's done. We're headed to the final inning. The 9th inning will be back just after this. Welcome back, everyone. U.S. Bank Stadium live. On behalf of Jason Ruttman, I'm Grant Sandberg. Proud to bring you another edition of Radio K Sports, Real Sports Radio. We got the top of the 9th. Gophers trail 6-1. This game started about a little over 2 hours ago, 2:15 or so. Burchill's still out there for his 4th inning of work, 60 pitches out of the pen. The Gophers do have a lefty warming up in their bullpen, McDonald. At the plate, 0 for 4 on the night, but 4 for 5 in the first game tonight, so doing well in total in this series. Swing and a miss, though, here to get it to 1-1.
I will say, the unfortunate thing about the game tonight is because Burchill has been in for so long, it kind of looks like the Gophers are just trying to do damage control and not use too many of their bullpen arms, when throughout the game, it's been a manageable deficit for the most part.
I agree. It's just been tough right now with the Gophers offensively, only 4 hits and 1 run. Next pitch is a ball inside. And to Burchill's credit, as rocky as he's been with a lot of walks, he has only given up 1 earned run over 3 innings. And he gets McDonald to swing ahead of this one, 2-2 now.
I will say, give credit to some of his defense. Going back to the 6th inning, Andrew Willite had an unbelievable play where he tracked down a ball in left field and threw out Kamiya, who was trying to extend to third.
Grounder down the third base line, hits the base, and there's nothing Wasso could do about that. And he just picks that up in an unfortunate way. Single for the Illini.
That ball was hit with a ton of spin. That actually, its first contact with the ground was in foul territory, and by the time it was 90 feet down the line at third base, it bounced off the bag. So, fortunate curve for Illinois, one could say, as they have their 10th hit of the evening. And a runner on first.
Yeah, leadoff runner on first now. McDonald brings up the freshman Janis. Takes strike one on the outside corner. He's 1 for 3 on the night.
No shift for Minnesota. The only player out of position is the first baseman Sweeney, who's holding on the runner.
Second pitch of the at-bat is Titan inside for a ball. 1-1 here to Janis. Burchill likely looking for some sort of grounder here, although the Gophers and the Illini have struggled turning double plays here. This one's a ball outside, a little high as well. 2-1 now.
Burchill seems to be moving even slower than he was before. Maybe a little fatigued here, no?
Potentially, yeah, I would not be surprised. 65 pitches into his evening. Ball off the outside corner, but framed in by Stanky for a strike. 2-2 now.
Stanky is so unbelievably talented at that. His framing skills are, I'd say comparable to some of the best catchers in the league.
Yeah, totally. Stanky was actually just put on a watch list for the Buster Posey Catcher of the Year award. And a potential runner, and Burchill just steps off and scares him back to first.
Well, speaking of Buster Posey, after taking the 2020 season off due to COVID-19 concerns with some young children at home, he's back for the San Francisco Giants this season, and they can certainly use him. He's one of the best in the game.
Totally agree with that. Ball outside here will bring it to 3-2 now, full count. No outs, top of the ninth. Posey, very talented in college. He played at Florida State, was able to do a lot for the Seminoles. And Burchill comes to the plate, runner stealing, and it's going to be a foul ball. Trickles towards the Illini dugout, and we're going to get another payoff pitch here.
If I'm Burchill, I might actually test out a fastball here. Seems like Janis a little bit on the rope. See if the freshman can catch up to some heat.
Let's see what he does here. Burchill does throw the fastball, and the hit and run works perfectly. And a single, and the runner McDonald's going to go first to third. No outs now. Not a good start for the Gophers here in the top of the ninth.
Well, he did test him with the fastball, and Janis proved his worth, smacking that opposite field in between second base and the actual second baseman. He's aboard with no outs, and for the, I'm not even sure how many times I've said this tonight, Minnesota's in trouble.
Yeah. Luckily, to be fair, giving up 6 runs is not terrible considering the tough situations they've been in, mainly because the Illini only hitting .222 with runners in scoring position, including 1 for 10 with 2 outs.
Along those same lines, Illinois has stranded 9 runners on base this game, which is, I'm sure, going to be discussed at their next team meeting because that's a lot of runs that could have crossed the plate that they weren't able to convert.
First pitch is an off-speed pitch right on the inside corner for strike 1 against the pinch hitter number 10, Jurok. Burchill looking towards first. Comes set now. Here comes the pitch. And it's going to be a ground out to Burchill. No, he lets it go. Are they going to turn 2? They get 1. They almost get 2, but beat him by a step was Jurek. So they only get 1, and they give up the run. 7-1 now.
Oh, that was a real close play at first, but I do think that it was the correct call by the umpire Adam Berg, who's stationed down there in foul territory. He had great angle on it, and he's been pretty consistent throughout the evening as well.
He's had a few close plays, but I think he's done a good job. Really, the only questionable call all series has been that potential home run that they went and decided it was just going to be a triple. I think some fans are still upset about that one. Here comes the pitch from Burchill right over the middle, strike one.
Well, I mean, it is noteworthy because Minnesota, like we've been talking about all night, has struggled offensively. And having a ball that, clears the fence by a talented hitter as Zach Robbie could really provide a boost to the team. But, he gets to third with one out, and the Gophers aren't able to push him home. And that's demoralizing. That's challenging mentally for a team.
The Illini get a pinch runner out there on first, so Jirach's going to be replaced. Number 33, Connor Milton, will be taking over base running duties at first. And Campbell steps back into the box, 2 for 3 on the night. 0-1, 1 out. Gophers trying to turn 2 here. They try to pick him off at first, and Milton was ready and dove back quickly.
Milton, the 6-foot-tall freshman from Champaign, Illinois, has not declared a major, but he is the number 4 outfielder in Illinois, according to Prep Baseball Report. Ton of talent on this Illinois team.
That is true, as the slider comes in and catches the inside corner. 0-2 now to Campbell. Pitch away from getting out of this if the Gophers can turn 2. Giving up only 1 run here would be big for Burchill, who's gone 3 1/3 now, 2 earned, 4 hits, 3 walks. And they're going to have a chance. Grounded to short, gets it to second, turns it, flips it, good! And they turn 2 there, and just like that, the Gophers are out of it. They're going to need 6 to tie, 7 to win in the bottom of the 9th. We'll be back. Welcome back, everyone, here live on Radio K Sports, and we got a new pitcher for the Illini, none other than Aiden Maldonado, number 41, and the man who almost hit a home run his last time up, Zach Robbie, is up to the plate, hit a triple in the 6th, potentially should have been a homer. Bottom of the 9th, he's going to need to get something started for the Gophers.
I'll tell you, Grant, I'm still convinced that that ball cleared the fence.
It was close. I don't know how it bounces that like that without hitting one of those bars that would be a home run.
I'm not sure either, but no umpire station in the outfield, so they give Zach Robbie a triple, and Minnesota can't push him home. Score remains 7-1.
First pitch from Maldonado is on the inside corner for a strike. A bit of an interesting windup. He twists back and then slings it over the plate, different from what we've seen.
Maldonado's actually a Minnesota guy. He's from Rosemont. So he was also taken in the 38th round of the 2018 MLB draft by the Milwaukee Brewers. Has chosen to pursue college.
Second pitch, low for a ball, 1-1.
Another interesting fact about him, and this is really unbelievable, is that Maldonado played summer ball for the Falmouth Commodores of the Cape Cod League in 2019, and he ranked third in the league in strikeouts per 9 innings.
Impressive.
At 15.6 per 9 innings.
15.6.
15.6.
Wow. That's really impressive as he throws this next one outside for a ball. I'm expecting a strikeout now.
I am too.
Here comes the fourth pitch of the at-bat as he comes set. Maldonado throws it over the plate low, though, and now it's 3-1 to Robbie.
I will say, you were talking about how he has that kind of odd twisting motion to begin his windup. I actually think that that's brilliant because it's fantastic at hiding the ball from the hitter until it's literally leaving his hand. And he throws pretty hard, so it's tough for some of these guys to catch up to it.
Strike on the outside corner there. Robbie was hoping it would be ball 4. Instead, we got a full count here to start off the bottom of the 9th. And for those enjoying tuning in to Jason and I broadcasting this game, we will be back tomorrow night, first pitch 6 p.m. Don't forget to change your clocks tonight. We got daylight savings. Here comes the next pitch, and it's going to be a ball 4, so a good start as Robbie is on base.
Well, unfortunately, we lose an hour, so
That's
get to bed
true.
early tonight also, folks.
Yeah.
Jack Wassel coming up to the plate now, 0 for 3 on the day, grounded out to the pitcher, flew out to right field, and then struck out swinging. He seemed a little frustrated after that final strikeout, but it seems like the entire Minnesota offense has a right to be frustrated at this point.
Maldonado looks over at Robbie briefly, but focuses now on Wassel. First pitch is just outside for a ball. Wassel struggling on the night, 0 for 3. Ground out, fly out, strikeout, he's done it all except get on base. He's really going to need to do that here if the Gophers want a chance at getting back in this game. And pitch just on the corner outside for a strike, 1-1 now.
Also, in the half inning, a defensive switch was made by the Fighting Illini. In to catch now is number 24, Zach Hartlib, the sophomore from Urbana-Champaign. He's majoring in recreation, sport, and tourism, and he actually transferred to Illinois with 3 years of eligibility remaining.
Here comes a pitch from Maldonado, and hit well by Wassel, but snagged in by Dolgale as he had to run in about 20 feet or so and left. That's going to be the first out now.
That's just some tough luck for Jack Wassel. He gets solid contact with it, shoots it to the opposite field, but, you know, a few steps by Dolagale, and he's right under it, so not much you can do if you're Jack Wassel.
Chase Stanky now comes up to the plate, 1 for 3 on the night. Line out in the second, single in the fourth, and a ground out in the sixth, getting his 4th chance now here in the 9th. Gophers with 1 runner on. It's Robbie at first. First pitch is on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1.
Stanky did not seem to like that call. He definitely thought it was low, and I kind of did too.
I think the umpires might have heard us that they're losing an hour of sleep. They're trying to expand that zone.
Well, it is 7-1, and Minnesota has not shown that their offense can muster up anything tonight, so the umpires may not be completely in the wrong to expand the zone and keep the game moving along.
And a check swing, but Stanky goes around 0-2 now.
Another noteworthy piece, this game started 48 minutes later than it was originally scheduled for.
That's true, yeah. As an umpire, you cannot be happy about that. Game's moving quickly, though. 11:14 p.m. here. About 2.5 hours in. Here comes the pitch from Maldonado. Swinging right through it is Stanky. 2 outs now in the bottom of the ninth, and the Gophers and Andrew Wilhite will have the last chance for them tonight here, trying to avoid going 0-3 so far in the season against Illinois and dropping to 1-6 on the year.
Yeah, definitely not the start to the season that Minnesota imagined or hoped for. It's tough. It's tough this year in a global pandemic, having to play against only other Big Ten teams, a lot of them who are unbelievably talented, like this Illinois team. And the Gophers have kind of had some of their weaknesses exposed, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, their starting pitching has been okay. Relief pitching is also kind of mixed bag okay. It's just their hitting. In college baseball, you can't survive with scoring 1 to 3 runs every game. Second pitch of the at-bat is going to be fouled to the left side. Third baseman giving chase, but it's going to drop into the fourth row, excuse me. 1-1 now to Andrew Wilhite, 1-3 on the night. Doubled in the second, hasn't done much since then. Robbie's still stuck on first base. Someone's still warming up in the Illinois pen, just getting some work in maybe. And Wilhite swings right through the slider. 1-2 now.
So, assuming that Minnesota goes on to lose this game, which unfortunately it looks like it will, they're down 7-1. What are you thinking Coach Anderson has to say to the team after another loss?
I think it's just simple, get more base runners. Doesn't matter if it's a run here or a walk or a hit batsman, somehow get base runners. As the pitch comes in and it's hit well by Wilhite to center. Jackson's going to be there. He's under it, and he grabs it. So the game is over. Gophers lose 7-1. Rough game there. And rough showing for the Gophers in general tonight. They lost both games. On behalf of Jason Ruttman, I'm Grant Sandberg saying good night, and we hope you tune in tomorrow to listen to us live. We'll be right back here at US Bank Stadium. Have a good night, everyone.